What it do, everybody? My name is Gino. I'm a aspiring producer based out of Houston, originally from New York. Today, I just want to talk about the recent purchase that Landr, acquiring Reason Studios. Um, just basically want to put in my little 2 cents. I've been a Reason user for a very long time. I started using Reason since Reason 3. So, you know, I basically, you know, got introduced to the game. I first started using Sony Acid. I remember my first DAW that I've ever learned how to use or whatever. I went to school for audio engineering, and there, I got introduced to a few programs. I think it was I don't Motu. I think I don't remember the name. This is a long time ago. But I definitely got introduced to Reason, and that's cool. And then I got my own copy. I ended up getting recycled. And throughout the years, I loved Reason. I still do. There's a few things that I just feel like they're just falling behind on, and I just don't understand. There's so many other programs that are just so much competition now. So I don't know why they wouldn't step up their game as far as like little things. It's just Reason workflow to me was very good because it was kind of based in a real world scenario type of thing where you can possibly learn how to patch cables and connect different machines. And Reason sound was to me amazing. I've definitely gotten some really good mixes on Reason. A lot of my early stuff, man, I got a lot of music that I'm, made on Reason. I put a lot of people onto Reason too. I remember I used to be just a Reason head. Like anybody would talk to me about anything, man. Yeah, get Reason, man. It's dope. Like you can't go wrong with that. I do have Reason 13. I went and still stuck with it, but I kind of got very disappointed. Especially with the 13 and it's just they're very late on implementing a lot of little things. There's a lot of quirky things about Region 13 that I don't like the search menu that pops up that window. I'll show I'll show it on the video in a little bit, but it's just so many little things that I feel like they can just if they can just get certain things right. Reason would be a straight up competitor. Like it's just so fun to use Reason because you can combine things. The whole combinated thing to me was amazing. And it's just so many good things about Reason. I just wish they would put a little bit more emphasis on certain little details that people just been asking for. Like, and I remember for years people have been asking for them to put recycle into Reason. Like, it would be amazing to be able to chop like you chop and recycle, but right inside the program. You know what I mean? And be able to edit the chops that you've already made, once you make it into a recycle or Dr. Rex loop, be able to go back and edit those chops and just move things around. Since Reason, I've gotten into like Studio One. To me, Studio One is a superb um, DAW. It just has so many things that it's just complements your workflow. It's just easy to work with. Um, it's not lacking on anything. It's definitely a very great program. But today, we're here to talk about the purchase of Reason by Landr, which I think ultimately, it could be a very good thing if they were to, implement a lot of the things that people were, have been asking for over the years, which is like just the gripe. It's like, man, just give what the people want. I mean, we're the people buying it, so why aren't you giving us what the people are asking for? That's what I don't understand. So that's what we're here to talk about. Um, I just hope that it does make for a good advancement on the DAW itself. Like I would love to see a better fade. Like when you're fading in an audio track, being able to adjust the fade, like a curve fade, and whatever you want to do with the fade. It's just you get that one fade, and that's about it. When you're trying to fade in or fade out a track, I just feel like if you could just control the curve on it, I mean, that's just basic stuff. Like DAW's been having that forever. Like it's just I don't know understand why they don't implement that. And you can't do it because when you're messing with the envelopes, you know, um, let's say if you want to automate a track, when you're messing with the envelopes, you can't do it. So why not do it with the track itself? Like, man, just give us that. They finally implemented VST3s. That took a while. It's like people were like, man, what the hell? Like, why don't we have VST3s? We finally got it. Um, Everything else about Reason is pretty dope. The freaking the players and all the effects, and it's just a very well-rounded program. And like I said, the mix it does come out pretty good. I do love the Reason sound. For any future updates, I would love to see the SSL mixer in the program itself. I would love to see like an official SSL, um, just a rebrand or like just the user interface. I would love to see it like an actual SSL brand because now, Solid State Logic, they are making plugins. So I would love to see the implementation of official SSL board inside of Reason because I think that would be amazing. Um, Other than that, it's just just little things, and I hope the Landr they don't implement too much of that AI. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of um, AI. It's to each his own. If you use it, that's great. I'm not judging. Me personally, my personal opinion is it's great for some things not so much. It's kind of taken away from the creativity and the fact that you got to sit here and learn these things. I remember when I was starting, to learn a program, you'd have to sit there and try to figure it out. I don't play many instruments. I did have a little bit with the keys and a little bit, just over the years I've learned just, the basic stuff. But, um, it's just the process of learning stuff. I feel like if we lean, if we lean too much on the AI, I think you'll miss out on the learning process. It makes you a better person, not a better person, but it just makes you more it just makes it fun. You know what I mean? Because once you finally learn something, you go back and you can implement it now. It's part of your arsenal. Nobody can take that away from you. Doing too much into AI, yeah, you can get the results quicker, but you really not doing it yourself. So it's like the minute you don't have AI, you're done. If I go to a studio and I know how to work Reason or I know how to work Studio One or the MPC, you know, and let's say you don't and you just rely on some AI. If you go to a studio or another, you know, another studio that's not your own and they don't have that, then you're lost. It's like, okay, what do you do? You know? So it's just to me over the years, the learning process and the learning curve, yeah, it's a little bit pain in the ass, but hey, it's very gratifying. Once you get the hang of it and you learn something, it really does make you feel like, okay, an accomplishment. Like, man, I've learned how to use Reason. I learned how to mix. I learned how to do this. But I can see certain scenarios, certain use cases that, hey, AI does come in handy. Like for example, stamps. Reason should implement stamps, and I feel like that's an area where the AI can actually has benefit. I'm not too crazy on all the results of stems. Sometimes I just rather filter some sounds out, and because it just it's still the sample, whatever it is, to me a little bit fuller, a little bit thicker. Um, but yeah, I mean some of it is okay. Like I've used stems before where I'm like, able to separate a guitar, a melody from the actual sample, and it's like, okay, that's not bad. So not all of AI uses are bad. I just don't think people should rely completely so much and so heavily on AI. Other than that, I mean, I feel like some of the things they have tried to implement into Reason, I don't think it worked out pretty good. Like that new search bar, like I said, the way it just pops up in the middle of the screen, it's just annoying. Like they should have left it how it was. Maybe try to, give you favorites, or improve the way where it was, where it popped up in the sidebar, and maybe improve it there. I think they should have just left it like that, and just a few other things. But for the most part, if they were able to just give people what they want, basically, we're the paying customer. People are requesting stuff. Um, But yeah, let me know what you think. You think this Landr purchasing Reason Studios, is it going to be a good move? What are the things that you're hoping to that they implement into the program? And yeah, leave it in the comments. Again, my name is Gino. I'm an aspiring producer. I'm planning to release a lot of music. Um, Please like, subscribe, and yeah, leave your comments. Let's keep this going. I would love to just keep making more videos like this. If you find this any way entertaining, or you you know go ahead and leave me a like. All right, peace.